Am I the butthole for changing my name after my dad gave it to his affair baby? I have a half-sister that is a product of my dad's affair, and he thought it would be an amazing idea to give her my name. He started forcing us to get to know each other as siblings, and my mom, being the traditional wife that she is, let her into our home. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the child because I understand that she's innocent in all this. I'm actually working on getting over it and learning to love and accept her. However, I despise the fact that my dad decided to give her my name. I started hating my own name and didn't want to be associated with it anymore. So the moment I got to college, I introduced myself under a different name to everyone I met there. I got a certificate which had my new name on it, and when my dad saw it, he went berserk, claiming that I don't like his child and I don't respect her. My mom is also angry at him for what he did, especially since the name was given to me by her and not him. I am getting married this year. I've known my fiancé for 3 years, and he proposed to me this New Year's Eve. I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. He has a 13-year-old daughter. Our kids have known each other since the beginning of our relationship, but my daughter just can't stand his daughter. On the other hand, my son likes him and has never had any issues with his daughter. I can't understand the reason, but everything his daughter does is criticized by my daughter. I've talked to my daughter about it, and all she can say is that the other girl is annoying, childish, and she has even called her names. I really can't grasp the problem. I find my future stepdaughter sweet and bright. I've never had any issues with her. My daughter also doesn't like my fiancé. She says I could find a much better man. I've talked to my daughter and she simply says she thinks he's dumb and arrogant. After my fiancé proposed and I accepted, I told my kids, and my daughter didn't like it. I expected this reaction. When she met my fiancé, she was extremely rude. I reacted and sent her to her room, where I told her to stay quiet and that her opinion doesn't matter to me. I'm getting married and she has to accept it, just like she has to accept sharing a room with her new sister. She had a crying fit and hasn't spoken to me for days. I told my sister and my mother, and they say I'm wrong. I can't see how I'm wrong. I'm an adult, a mother, and I decide whom I marry, not a teenager who knows nothing about life. AITA? Edit. I told her she had to accept it, and her opinion didn't matter because for the past 3 years, I've been trying to understand her reasons for being against my relationship, and she has never stated those reasons. So now, I'm getting married. And for those who said I didn't make an effort to build a relationship between my stepdaughter and my daughter, my son travels alone many weekends with my fiancé, while my stepdaughter comes to stay with us at home. Even so, my daughter barely interacts and says it's disgusting for the two of them to travel together for hunting. Am I the butthole for telling my stepsister that I'll share my room if she shares her car? So, my dad has been married to my stepmom for 10 years. My stepsister and I are both 16F. Even though my dad has been married to her mom for 10 years, my stepsister and I don't really know each other. Her dad works for some big international company, and she lived in Asia from when she was 3 until she was 9, then in Europe until she was 13, then lived in South America until September. Now they're in the US until the summer, then they're going back to Asia. They're staying a few minutes away from my dad and stepmom, and she's been spending weekends with us. Now that she's actually here on weekends, my dad and stepmom put another bed in my room and said I have to share until they move again. She goes to this $75K a year international school by my school and drives a brand new Tesla. I go to public school and take the bus. I told her she should drive me to school because her school is next to mine and the bus sucks. She said no. I told her to be a good sister and help me out, and she said she's not my sister. Since she won't help me out and says she's not my sister, I won't be sharing a room with her. I left her stuff outside the room and took the spare keys so they couldn't let her in. And I told her I'll share my room when she shares her car. Now her dad won't let her come here and says her mom has to go to their house to see her. They also might go back to Asia early because apparently the whole point of them staying here for a year was for her to get to know her mom. She visits for a couple of weeks a year, but it's different. And that's not going to happen if she doesn't have a room at the house. They're saying they get why I did it, but I need to deal with her until she goes back to Asia. Am I the butthole for telling her I'll share my room when she shares her car? Am I the butthole for telling my husband that I will answer our clients myself so he can't take away my commission? I've been with my husband for over 10 years now, and we have 2 daughters together. Although I know we are both not perfect, I feel as though he will never take accountability for his actions. It's been a problem in his family. His mom, aunts, and uncles are all the very same. Quick to fight and never admitting when they're wrong, just try to hit below the belt if they feel like they are losing type people. so I know it's not entirely his fault. It's how he's grown up and defended himself. Plenty of times in an argument, he has told me this house isn't mine, and he can take me out whenever he wants. He's told me all the money he makes is his own, and I don't do anything to earn money. He's even said that I've stolen from him when I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 9 years. That's a decision we made together, but he really pushed for. He said the car is his, and I can't use it at all when it was also a gift from his family for us to transport our daughters around, and he could get to work. He's basically pulled this power trip on me before after an argument just to be petty multiple times. The last big argument was a couple of nights ago, but we haven't made up, just been cordial. He made me lunch today, and I've been making him tea or whatever he needs without him asking, basically just going along as normal, just not talking very much. Today I had been talking to some clients over text messages. We sell land and houses that he has bought and flipped, so they are all under his name. I was asking some basic questions and if he had the GPS of the location, and he said, "Let me see the phone, I'll just talk to them myself." And I said no because I wouldn't want him to take away my commission and say I didn't do anything to earn it. He got mad, of course. He said it was a stupid thing to say and to not ask him for any more help and do it myself then. I feel like that's just what his job is, and he should be willing to answer those questions from anybody. But am I the a-hole from being petty and bringing up another fight when things were fine by my comment?